Chapter 9.
The world outside was like pieces of shattered crystal. Harry blinked his eyes open to see dust catching the sun's rays, floating lazily. As he awoke to a new existence, he spent the first few moments forgetting to draw breath. Harry? Alice's voice was a harmonious melody, akin to a note from Edward's piano. Her scent was a blend of violets and sea mist. Alice. He turned to her, noticing her poised hands. "I promise I'm not here to harm you," he assured, wishing away the fear that tinged her expression. Inside him, something ignited, the burn of magic he felt in the woods, or love within his soul. "Where are Charlie and Bella?" "We believed it best to begin with just one of us present." Harry's concern flared like a signal fire. "Are they all right?" "Absolutely, Harry." She lightly touched his hand, her skin gentle to the touch. "You did protect them." Relief washed over him like drained water from a tub. He pondered whether being a vampire meant he could still enjoy taffy. "I'm famished," he concluded, rising. The world felt skewed, as if a glitch had broken the link between decision and action. Once, pauses felt like stretched taffy, endless. Harry considered whether he could now easily buckle his seatbelt. He had been told Harry was adjusting well. Chief Swan noticed something in Alice's demeanor. But really well. He might even return home soon, earlier than anticipated. Edward thinks next week he can face human interaction. Her radiant smile didn't deceive him. And he's rather unique, perhaps? Charlie finally exhaled. He feared it was problematic, but Harry being distinctive wasn't groundbreaking. "That's okay," Charlie assured before stepping out to use the hall phone. "Hello." Harry's voice sounded vibrant. "Hey there." Silence settled, a comforting reminder that Harry was fine. "I recall you," Harry said. The Cullens mentioned losing fragments of their human memories. "I recall it all." Charlie had never heard Harry lie, fearing this claim might be true. "Everything." Harry's shrug was audible. "Are you all right, dear?" Charlie waited. Harry's tone softened. "It feels like eons ago, watching my life play out with the emotions dimmed." He chuckled, a sound of liberation. "I'm not broken anymore." "You were never broken, Harry." Dread filled Charlie, a voiceless fear. If emotions were muted, did Harry still love him? Would he want to remain together? "Edward says I'm not quite like the others," Harry acknowledged. "In my world, vampires weren't so different." He sighed. "Can I come home if you'll have me?" "Yes." Charlie caught his breath, promising, "That would be great." "Me too," Harry replied. "I miss you." Adapting to life with a vampire in the household happened swiftly. Neighbors didn't question Harry's lack of outings. Many presumed him eccentric. The Swan family continued their Sunday ritual of heart-shaped pancakes, with Bella now used to vampire eyes observing her eat. Alice managed groceries, while Esme's daily check-ins continued. At night, Harry lay beside Charlie as usual, slipping out to hunt once Charlie was asleep. They eased into an altered routine. With Edward's tutoring, Bella excelled in her finals. When she chose a film over prom, Edward picked a predictably awful romance. She feigned displeasure for pride's sake. When he recited film lines later, she grinned. Renee's unexpected call asked, "When will you visit, Bella?" It was a moment of realization for Bella that she belonged among emerald ferns and captivating golden eyes. "I'll come for 2 weeks," she decided. Esme gladly arranged 2 tickets, though summer kept Edward from Arizona. Angela had babysitting duties, and Jessica, avoiding cars, cycled everywhere now. Charlie suggested bringing Jacob. It was wise. Jacob, matured in recent months, now felt more an equal than the formerly chatty youngster during Charlie and Billy's fishing. "Is your dad still with Harry?" Jacob inquired as they prepared to board at Port Angeles Airport. "Yup," confirmed Bella. "And you're with Edward Cullen?"
"Yeah."
Bella's smile affirmed Jacob's silent question. Really? Jacob said finally as they cleared security. I guess it runs in the family. Laughing, they jostled each other as they once did as children at the river. It was comforting having a friend who was simply there, uncomplicated. Your dad doesn't mind you visiting? Renee asked yet again. Bella was puzzled. Renee had been indifferent about previous friends, including Vanessa from the varsity team with multiple piercings. Apparently, attention shifted when it was a boy. Yes, Mom. Billy's informed. He and Jake needed space from bickering. Aha. Bella was amused by Renee's gum-smacking habit, now irksome. She wanted to advise. Chew with your mouth closed. Will you ever mature? Renee tried for bonding time, planning zoo trips and Baskin-Robbins visits. Jacob disliked the zoo, declaring it a stench pit. And during Renee's excitement over rainbow sherbet and fudge, Bella was reminded of simpler days. The apex of the visit was seeing a vandalized ballet studio. There are plans for a new condo, Renee remarked, dismissively. East Coast buyer, some dreadful postmodern design. Bella discovered Phoenix's monotony over 2 weeks. The desert's beauty felt foreign. The horizons stretched flat, spaces vast, sun harsh. She longed for Harry's oak, the tree they'd once adorned with an old tire swing. Distance felt weird. Renee's habitual tardiness and careless mess seemed trivial, and Bella detached from bother. Maybe vampires broadened her view. Clutter became insignificant. So did Renee. Bella's habits changed. She skipped fabric softener and anticipated returning home. It was dazzling and loud, yet peaceful and gentle. New hues Luna would have adored. When crafting rune-impressed corks, Harry felt clear-minded, emotionally fulfilled, and confident. Harry took care not to dwell too deeply in thought. Despite Hermione's awareness that there were things far more important than intelligence, Harry didn't spend his nights with books in hand. He took comfort in wandering through the forests, listening to their natural rhythm. The shadows felt like home, even if he now could see right through them. He had chased away Edward because the trees rejected his presence, yet Jasper proved to be a better companion. Jasper's presence evoked memories of Mrs. Fig, with her delightful chocolate cake and aroma of boiled cabbage. Jasper had a scent of thistles mingled with honeysuckle, while Charlie bore the fragrance of gunpowder mixed with a sweeter hint of donuts. Harry fell into familiar habits during the day, making sure his mind stayed clear of too much thinking. At night, he'd leap through the treetops, savoring the air. This forest, teeming with magic, fulfilled him like nectar of the gods. After a fortnight, Bella played with the truth about their departure time just to ensure they would reach the airport promptly. Spending 3 hours wandering through Arizona's airport shops, only Seattle's bookstore managed to hold their attention for long. Do you catch a scent of that? Bella glanced up from the garish paperback in her hand. Jacob's nose twitched at the air, as distaste twisted his features. She sniffed. Not really? Something floral. Reminds me somewhat of Cullen's, Jacob concluded. His whole frame shook, though not like the girl who'd had an earlier fit. Are you all right? Bella grasped his trembling hand, mentally reviewing her emergency checklist. You're feverish. I can book a hotel, or drive us back. She pushed down her fears. Could it be catching? Images of security in hazmat suits filled her mind's eye. Seeing her family next through a plastic veil. Would they even check if those visiting were still breathing? Despite Carlyle's medical expertise, government clearance was likely beyond him. Yet she felt undisturbed, not feverish. Was she perspiring more than normal, or were those just flight nerves? Guiding Jacob to quiet seats, she led him in deep breathing exercises Harry had taught them. She left to fetch him an overpriced water bottle. I'm all right, Jacob reassured after gulping it all down. So bizarre, but it's fine now. He inhaled slowly.
Sorry.
That was really odd. Bella's smile was fragile. You're sure? No nosebleeds, cramps, hallucinations. Well, seeing things. How would I know what's real here? Jacob's grin returned as he got to his feet again. Maybe I ought to ring Carlyle. No. Startled, they exchanged a glance. An unspoken shock lingered between them. Apologies, he whispered. I need to find my calm again. She observed his muscles tensing beneath his shirt. When they passed the bookstore, curiosity made her inhale, but all she detected was fresh croissants from the first-class lounge. Seems it's clear? Jacob took a cautious sniff, then his wide eyes signaled no. They made their way to their gate with quickened steps. Back at home, Alice had summoned him to a family gathering. Charlie eyed the 8 vampires crammed into his snug living room, hoping this didn't draw out. He was due to collect Bella and Jacob from the airport shortly. You've seen it, haven't you? Edward asked sharply, his head snapping up. Everyone's gaze shifted to Alice. Wrapped in Jasper's embrace, Alice was tense as a drawn bow. The Volturi are en route. They've taken the next flight from Seattle. Bella's on the next flight from Seattle, Charlie noted, steadying himself. Best to stay composed until the full picture emerged.
Pardon?
Alice's eyes widened. She rang me this morning after reaching the airport. I didn't foresee any delay. Edward swiftly retrieved his phone. I'll contact Bella. They can extend their stay in Arizona another week. She won't go for that. Charlie glanced at his watch. And they might already be airborne. He felt Harry's reassuring squeeze on his hand, cooling his nerves. Who are the Volturi? Arrow, Marcus, and Caius are the leaders of our kind, self-proclaimed monarchs. Their governance has secured our secrecy for nearly 2,000 years. Carlyle spoke with a hint of nostalgia. Esme gave his leg a comforting pat. Carlyle spent decades with them in Italy during the 1800s. We see the Volturi as old companions, Esme murmured. Perhaps it's merely a visit they planned? Jasper made a faint noise of skepticism. No offense, Esme, but you've only ever had a brief encounter with them. They're enforcers, the proverbial judge, jury, and executioner. Anyone else notice? We've broken the law. His gaze flicked to Charlie, then to Edward. Charlie's pride in his badge resonated deeply within him from the start. What law am I breaching without my knowledge? His tone was demanding. Humans should not know of vampires, Edward replied in monotone, fingers carting through his hair. Exceptions exist if one's on the brink of transformation, particularly someone with special gifts. Interesting. Charlie glanced at Harry's hand in his own. He'd known transformation was an option, yet the permanence of it all was still daunting. Both you and Bella serve as shields, Alice stated. Arrows likely to preserve you. That's mere speculation, Edward countered. They rest too close to Harry's influence for you to see well. Charlie grew tired of Edward's incessant intrusions. I've decided to depart, Harry declared, though he did not release Charlie's hand. They all watched as Alice's gaze seemed to drift away. I'm blind to Arrow's ultimate intentions, but they're driven less by malice, more by intrigue. The wolves intrigue them. Wolves, Charlie interjected. Good heavens, Jacob's there at the airport, Alice exclaimed. Caius hounds the werewolves, Jasper noted with a touch on Alice's shoulder. Carlyle, have you ever explained our treaty or mentioned the Quilut's existence to the Volturi through these years? Seeing where things headed, with the trial stacked, Charlie needed Bella free from peril. He seized Harry's phone and dialed. Dad, we're boarding now. I've got to go soon. Bella's voice was tight with stress. Jacob's not well. On the way, we drew some odd stares. 3 people in first class seem. Carlyle seized the call. That's enough, Bella. Hold that thought. Is Jacob reacting to a scent? Tell her to swap necklace charms with Jacob if they're fitted that way, Harry suggested. Carlyle relayed the advice, passing the phone back to Charlie. They were on speaker. I think that's really working, Bella whispered. We should head. Thanks. Jacob believes we're fine. Are we, Dad? Charlie exchanged a look with Harry, who nodded his reassurance. Yes, Spells, you're all right. Everything will turn out okay.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this chapter, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to stay updated with more audiobooks. Happy listening!